members of the management team, deans, directors, heads of department, sections, units, senior members, senior staff, junior members, junior staff, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great privilege to introduce to you our chairman for today's occasion. Our chairman for today's occasion is a proud alumni of this prestigious university. He graduated as the overall best student in 2002 with a first class in music. He is the current Director of Quality Assurance Directorate, University of Education, Winneba. Before assuming his present position, for 4 consecutive years, he served as the head of Department, Music Education at the School of Creative Arts. He also held a number of portfolios whilst at the Department of Music Education. These include Exams Officer and Sandwich Coordinator. As a professor, he has authored and co-authored 41 publications and a number of discographic publications. Currently, he is the Chief Examiner for West African School Certificate Examination and an external examiner to University of Cape Coast and University of Ghana. He is guided by the principles of hard work, diligence, independence, effective planner, and a strong advocate for women's academic development and career development. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our chairman for today's occasion, Professor Emmanuel Obed Aqua. Thank you.
Thank you. Prof, you are welcome. And here you are with your audience. We'll call on Prof to give us his response and welcome address. Shall we give him a round of applause?
Do you have that? Let me sanitize my. I can use this. Okay. Okay. Thanks so much, MC. I must say that I have the greatest honor to accept the chairmanship of this dignified function on behalf of the Vice Chancellor of this noble university, Reverend Father Professor Anthony Afugroni, who is currently engaged in some sets of commitments of the university. In fact, I have the greatest honor to actually be in the chair because I have this privilege to host my own Pro-Vice Chancellor, Acting Pro-Vice Chancellor of this university, Professor Andy Brinkran, as the key note, who is going to give the keynote address. So, Prof, I'm humbled. Thank you. The Pro-Vice Chancellor, other members of the management team, deans, directors, heads of department, distinguished speakers, senior members, senior engineer staff, junior members. You can also see the Municipal Director of Education here, Mrs. Mabel Judith Micah, with her PRO, Joseph B.K. Intifo, who is actually a colleague. I had the same school, I had to school with him. So, Mr. Intifo, you are welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Here is so quiet. I don't know whether it's the number or something. Please, good morning. Thank you. I'm going to read this on behalf of the Vice Chancellor. The Vice Chancellor says, I accepted this invitation to give the welcome address for this August occasion with so much gratitude. In point of that, being here today is not only because of my own efforts, but also of the press, hard work, encouragement, determination, and never give up attitude of a great woman who birthed me into this world. It is without doubt that women have played significant roles in society in times past, and in these trying times of the upsurge of COVID-19 cases globally. Ladies and gentlemen, you agree with me that International Women's Day is an annual celebration of women globally. In 1911, International Women's Day was honored for the first time in Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland on 19th March. So between 1913 and 1914, women in Russia observed their first Women's Day on February 23rd. Then later, it was decided that March 8th be the globally accepted day to celebrate our women. Indeed, for us in UEW, it has been so consistent to commemorate this event year on year, because we feel that it is an opportunity to acknowledge the economic, political, social, and cultural achievement of women in our university as well. The celebration also creates an opportunity to reflect on the progress made by women over the years, call for change, and celebrate acts of bravery and determination by ordinary women who have distinguished themselves in their respective communities and countries. And so this year's celebration focuses on women in leadership achieving an equal future in a COVID-19 world. Ladies and gentlemen, I can recount several indispensable roles that frontline workers, especially in the health sector, majority of whom are women, have played to control and manage the escalation of cases of coronavirus infections. They are at the most critical points where persons infected with the virus have undergone critical care and isolation. Women have spanned all fears and worked assiduously, putting their lives at risk to ensure that humanity is rebirthed to life. May I crave your indulgences to join the numerous voices across the globe in shouting accolades of praise to you, indefatigable women. You are the life givers. Aren't you happy about that? Yes, you are the life givers. If I say you are the life givers, now listen to some inspirational feminist quotes that actually remind us just how awesome women are. So I quote, "Feminism isn't about making women strong. Women are already strong. It is about changing the way the world perceives that strength." That was given by Anderson. Now let's look at Church. I will say that women are the real architects of society. And Margaret Thatcher will tell you that if you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman. So you can understand how women are very precious. Where there is a woman, there's a magic. Where there's a woman, there's a magic. And we have to understand that. So I agree with Michelle Obama that there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. And like Shakespeare, you are in charge of your life. Dream big and love your passions. I believe in the innate potential of every woman, and I also side with the view that to achieve great potential, women need a self-orientation early in life that they can achieve whatever they put their minds to as leaders. As a way of seeing the end of this vicious cycle of inequality, women should not limit themselves when the opportunity is presented, but should fly hard to grasp that opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, undoubtedly, women are already leading the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic in many countries in Africa and beyond. And they continue to play formal roles as community leaders and informal roles, disseminating information to members of the community. Role models in this area include Rwanda's cabinet member, Clara Kamarazi, South Africa's Yvonne Akisoya, and Ghana's Zenato Rollins, all of who embarked on a campaign about the importance of personal hygiene to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. In this great university, women leaders currently constitute a sizable percentage of the administration, and this is in line with our dream to promote women's sense of self-worth, their ability to determine their own choices, and their right to influence social change for themselves and the others. So, equal opportunities have been created for both male and female staff in this university, and I'm glad to announce that our women have not relinquished their efforts at working hard to earn such enviable positions. Ladies and gentlemen, I implore you all to continue with your hard work, for COVID-19 only presents another challenge for the innovative women to charm out into opportunities and make the best out of it. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. With these few words, I have the pleasure to formally accept the chairmanship and welcome you and wish you all the best in this celebration. May God be gracious unto us all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof, for that introduction. Please let's give it for him one more time. Okay, and since Prof is coming from the School of Creative Arts, I would be a little bit theatrical this morning and say we should balance the auditorium, right? And by balancing the auditorium, please, in all humility, those at the back end of the auditorium, kindly walk in front, please. Let's give it up for them as they come. Let's give it up for them. Please come. Yes, thank you so much. Come. The ushers, please help them come, especially at this side, so that when we take the pictures, it will look beautiful, and then we can share them on the school socials, the social media handles. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, by standing here looking through the audience, I can see some important people that I can't just ignore. We need to acknowledge them, even though they are sitting among the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I can see the Dean of the Faculty of Foreign Languages Education and Communication, my own Dean, Dr. Christine Hammond, here in the building. Doctor, please give us a wave. Thank you so much. I can see the Director of the OIA here with us, also from the same faculty and Department of Communication and Media Studies, Dr. Mavis Amomensa. Please give us a wave. Thank you so much. And of course, I know their full names because I'm in the same faculty with them. So if I mention your name and I don't mention the full name, forgive me. Maybe next time you have to come to my faculty. I have Dr. Macbeth. Dr. Macbeth is also here. Please give us a wave. Dr. Macbeth. The other name you added yourself. Okay, I'm also seeing the immediate past GRASAC president, Miss Hartwell. Give us a wave. And now the current national GRASAC president, proudly from UEW. I'm seeing the GRASAC executives around. A1 and his people, they are also here. Mr. President, thanks for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, there are other dignitaries that we will introduce with time. Faculty members, you are welcome. At this point, we will take a solidarity message from the Municipal Director of Education, that's in GES, Mrs. Mabel Judith Micah. Mrs. Mabel Judith Micah to give us a solidarity message. Please give it up for her as she comes. Oh, the clapping. If it were to be church, the pastor would say, but we'll send if you don't know how person will do assassination. Okay, thank you so much, Mom.
Reverend Father Professor Afro Bruni, his rep, Vice Chancellor Prof. Andy Ofori Brunkran, Acting Pro-Vice Professor Ruby Hansen, Dean of Faculty of Science Education, Ms. Dinah Adiko, Gender Expert Title, Senior Engineer Staff, Deans, Directors, Management, Faculty of the University, students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the media. It gives me great pleasure and honor for the Directorate of Education to be associated with this year's International Women's Day on the theme, Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 World. The focus on women provides the world the opportunity in this difficult time to reflect and celebrate the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of all women globally. This occasion also invites us to rethink about policies and programs that will focus on our collective action to accelerate the growing of women equality and the risk that the pandemic presents in order to roll back the United Nations 2030 Gender Equality Agenda. On the global front, we celebrate Her Excellency Kamala Harris, the first Black woman Vice President of America. We are also delighted at the election yet of another first woman Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. It is our high expectation that their leadership, through policy interventions, will reverse the growing suffering and abuse of over 243 million women before the pandemic, according to the United Nations. Here at home, we celebrate all our gallant women of about 95% frontline health workers who are women. All our women in the informal sectors of the economy, in the agri sector, and so on, and the formal sectors of finance and education, among others. Our teachers are at the front line, ensuring that students observe the COVID-19 protocols. In the social and cultural sectors, our mothers at home must be given the full support, and every form of domestic abuse must stop. Policy intervention from all women in leadership positions must be oriented to support and bridge the gap as we hold each other's hand in support. Access to credit and support programs to facilitate efforts of our women must be the focus of all women and our leaders in politics and finance. We at the Education Directorate salute all our women, the Vice Chancellor of KNUST, Prof. Rachel Akosia-Dixon, the Dean, Prof. Ruby Hansen, and all the female faculties of the University of Education, Winneba. The directorate is committed to the promotion of the girl-child education through improved health education and equal rights for both boys and girls. We invite all stakeholders to join the Education Directorate to support our efforts to provide equal access to both the boy and the girl child to ensure a conducive environment for learning and remove all forms of abuse and discrimination against the girl child in our forward march to attain the UN 2030 Equality Agenda for the women. On this note, I wish all women a happy Women's Day. As we are the wheel of the family, ocean of knowledge, mirror of our children, address of love, and navigator of life both. Thank you so much.
The poetry reciter. No, the poetry reciter. The poetry reciter. Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Mabel Judith Micah, the Director for GES, a future municipality. Earlier on, I mentioned some names. I think I got some right, and I got some wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, with a befitting round of applause, let's welcome Dr. Beth Ofei Awuku. Dr. Beth Ofei Awuku. Don't mind me, because of theater, I said Macbeth. Okay. Please, we invited all deans and directors, deputy directors, and also HODs. So if you are a dean and you are here, aside those that I've already introduced, please give us a wave so that we acknowledge you. Okay. What about Okay, thank you so much. What about directors? Please, let's give it up for them as they wave their hands. Okay, thank you so much. And HODs, directors of education. We also have some ladies or girls from selected basic schools. We have about 15 of them here. Please, ladies, let's see you. And they are facilitators. Please, let's see you. Let's give it up for them for coming. And we also have about 10 facilitators from the various schools. At this point, we will take a poetry reciter from Miss Clara Orins Isham. Give it up for her as she mounts the stage.
Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or girls see the passion colors. But when I try to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say it's in the reach of my hand. The span of my hips, the stride of my step, and the curl of my lip. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That is me. I walk into a room as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellow stands or fall to their knees. Then they swam about me, a hive of honeybees. I say it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing of my waist and the joy of my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That is me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so hard, but can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say we still can't see. I say, it's in the yak of my back and the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast and the grace of my style. I am a woman, phenomenal woman. That is me. So you all understand just why my head is not bowed. I don't have to shout or jump about or talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, and the need for my care. Because I'm a woman. Yeah. Phenomenal woman. That is me.
Wow.
Okay, thank you so much. Wow. Yes, she is a phenomenal woman. Give it up for the phenomenal woman one more time. She just took me back to okay. She just took me back to my acting days. Oh, why are you laughing?
You're welcome to Radio Winneba 98.3 FM.
Next time I'll come and perform Phenomenal Man.
From the Jofus Anamwa Mensa Conference Center here.
Okay, ladies
at
and
the North
gentlemen.
Campus of
At
the
this
University. UEW today is celebrating the International Women's Day 2021. Every year, the world celebrates International Women's Day on March 8th, but UW set a day aside to celebrate the day. Globally, the day was celebrated on Monday. We have various speakers lined up here to give presentations on the day, which is on the theme, Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 world. The Vice Chancellor of this prestigious university, Reverend Father Professor Anthony Afuboni, was supposed to chair their function, but duty has taken him somewhere, so the Director of Quality Assurance of the university, Professor Emmanuel Obed Akwa, is chairing the program. Speakers include the Acting Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor Andy Oforobokran, Professor Ruby Hansen, who is the Dean, Faculty of Science Education, and Ms. Diana Adiko, a gender expert with teacher. Already, the Vice Chancellor's rep has given his address on his behalf, and the Vice Chancellor is asking women to fly high to grab any opportunity that may come their way. He described women as the givers of life and must therefore be supported in all spheres. To talk now or to present or give a keynote address is the Pro-Vice Chancellor, Acting Pro-Vice Chancellor of this prestigious university, Professor Andy Oforobokran. Professor Oforobokran is a women's rights activist. She's been championing the cause of women all over and it's not out of place to give a keynote address on this very important day. The Director of Education for Efutu, Mrs. Winneba is also present here at the function. Now, on the podium is Professor Andy Ofori-Brokran, the acting Pro-Vice Chancellor of this prestigious university.
Thank you very much, Bismarck.
Center here at the North Campus.
Good morning to your colleagues and students from the various institutions. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to scream this morning, so you need to scream with me. Once again, we have another day here with us, and I'm built to speak. And I am going to make sure that I preach, because I've realized that if you don't preach, men will not listen. And if you don't preach, women will not transform. So I'm going to preach so that men will listen and women will transform. But before I do that, I want us to acknowledge one person who is with us and who will sum up most of the things that I'll say this morning, because of the things that that person has done in the past year. Because I'll use her story, which is unknown to her, to illustrate probably the last thing that I'll say this morning. So I'm going to introduce her to you, and then, so that she will not leave. Because once I introduce her and I'm saying that I'm going to talk about you, you have to wait and listen to what I'm going to say. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm introducing to you Dr. Mrs. Beth Ofe Awuku. Oh, is there another Beth Ofe Awuku here? Because since you're looking around. Okay, so I'll say something about this woman getting to the end of my presentation. But you see, the sad thing about us women is that when we have such a program, we don't find them. And these are programs that we get ideas in order to forge ahead with the gender agenda. But where are the women? They are lost. So that we had to go to secondary schools to bring students to come and support us. I hope that perhaps by the end of the day, the idea that we carry would go far in transforming those who don't see the need to come for programs that are meant for you, women, to do so. You see, normally when people get progressive ideas and they start progressing at their workplaces, because they've gone to these programs, they got progressive ideas, then those who don't go sit down and complain, because they are ideas that would surely send you higher. This morning, of course, on your program, you'll see that I'm supposed to pick on the bigger theme. Now, I've chosen to select something to talk about. And I'm sure that by the end of the day, you understand why this is important for us, or these things that I'm going to talk about will be important for us to imbibe and see how we can effectively and progressively move the gender ideas. So because under the theme, we have choose to challenge. So what are we choosing to challenge? So I'll decide to do something. And so I've titled my presentation, Choosing to Challenge Women to Assume the Leadership Place. The 5 traits of need. I have come up with some 5 traits myself to tell you that any woman who wants to succeed in the present environment, if you want to change society, we need these traits. And traits are qualities that can be found in a person qualities that you can cultivate, or they may be genetic, and that can be seen to be operating across all situations. So in any situation, consistently, not one time, consistently, you behave that way from one situation to the other and the other and the other, we say that's your trait. So traits can be genetic, they can also be environmental. But if you want to be a gender activist, an advocate, you need to cultivate some traits from the environment. If you don't do that, you will never progress and women will continue to be marginalized. So I'm going to give you 5 traits that you need. If you are a woman here or you are listening to us anywhere, you need to cultivate those traits if you really want to transform society. And that is the challenge I choose to give to you. So the 5 traits. 1, women need conscientization. So I'll talk about them. We need to become conscientized, or you need to gain some high level of consciousness. And I'll explain. 2, women need empowerment. If you're a woman and you are not empowered, you can never transform society. So no matter what we come here to talk about, we scream and scream and scream, if you are not empowered, we can't. Then, women should become positive deviants or subversionists. Women should become coup d'etat makers. All the time making coup against patriarchy, making coup against men. Because if you don't plan to stage coup against what men do, you will never progress. Then women should undertake gender dawah or evangelism. And I will focus on dawah because it's powerful. It's an Islamic call to evangelize. And I will read something about it, and you see how that approach is what women should adopt. The women should assert their position as the natural leaders. We would understand why women, you are natural leaders. Men are not natural leaders. They have just taken it from you. And you sit quiet and look at them. You can't do anything. Today, I'm going to empower you to understand that you are the people who were born leaders, and you should take up that mantle. So, what is conscientization? When you say women need conscientization, what is it? The process by which one develops the ability to think critically, not just to think, but critically about issues of power in relation to privilege and oppression in different spheres of influence. So there are key issues, not just thinking, but critically. If you are a critical thinker, you see things that people do not see. So that when somebody sends you a mail, a WhatsApp message, making fun of women, you laugh and you also forward. Me, I won't do that. Because I think critically. If the thing is demeaning women, then you also laugh. You're a woman, you laugh. Now I say, you need to think critically because that thing, please, why are you rolling the thing when I've not asked you to do that? Go back to where I was. You see, it's a man who is doing that. A woman will never do that. So, in relation to privilege and oppression, so you have to understand that there are privileges in society and there are the oppressed. And women are oppressed and lack privileges. And therefore, we have to think about under what circumstances. So, I have introduced Dr. Ofeuku. I said I'm going to talk about her. And you see her, she's the director of health services. And you think that, oh, she's privileged. But she may be oppressed. If you don't think critically, she may be oppressed in relation to other people who hold similar positions in society. And because she's a woman, she will be mute. And so, to become conscious of something is to understand that this is the state in which I find myself. I am oppressed. I lack privileges. Therefore, how do I liberate myself? Next. So now let's try to understand what conscientization is about. When you say you are conscious, or you have been conscientized, 1, the recognition that you are in a bad or good situation and must be freed or oppressed or progress. You recognize that I'm in a bad situation, and therefore I have to free myself, or I need some kind of liberation. Sometimes, most of us women are in bad situation, but we don't see it because you are not conscious. You lack consciousness, so you don't see. So you are a big woman somewhere, and they are trying to pull you down and go, "May your bench, share." You lack consciousness. Of course, if you are liberated and you know that you are liberated, then you also have conscientization and you need to progress. Now, consciousness means that freedom to create and construct and to venture. When you are conscious, you can create your own ideas. You can venture into terrains that before then you couldn't go. You can do whatever because you are a freed woman. And nothing brings you down, nothing boxes you. Because you are ready to construct things on your own, you don't care what people say. And later when you come to deviance, you understand why that happened. So you are free to think in a manner that will free you, make you happy. And then, consciousness involves reflection and action. Whatever you are doing, you sit down, you reflect on your past, and you take action to redeem yourself. The Christians will say to get redemption and salvation. You look at your past and say, in the past I was a weed smoker, so now I have changed, so I'm redeeming myself. But when we come to gender issues, and we say, you sit down and reflect and see how you have been treated by men and women in society in order to make sure that they sit on your right, they oppress you. And there's no more. Now I choose to challenge myself in order to repudiate those things. I am going to work against what I have. You become conscious. When you become conscious, there are things that as a woman you don't allow society to let you do. And because so many women are doing something, if I say it, I will be in trouble. So I'm not going to say it. Because if you are conscious and you are going for a program and they say you have to put on some kind of wig or something and you don't have it, you say, I will go like that with my natural hair. Society cannot sit on me because you are freed. But now, when women wake up in the morning and they want to dress, they will push wardrobe 1, 2, and now I'm away, and now I choose to away. Yesterday I wore this. Hey, what else should I wear? And if I wear this, then the men will take the same singlet, the same shirt they wear and they go. And when they go there, you have dressed. Nobody will look at you. Nobody will call you. The one with the same singlet, say, "Oh, let's invite Mr. So and so," and then he comes with the same suit. Because when men buy suit, I can tell you in a week, they will not wear more than 2. The same suit in a week. A woman cannot wear the same dress. Can you? So you see that kind of oppression, but they are wearing the same thing. And nobody talks about that. You wear, and your own women will start talking about you. So, we need to reflect and say, no more. I'm going to cut my hair like Dr. Beth Ofeoku. And then I'll be free. And then she gets up and then she washes the hair and then she's gone. And ask her, she's free. She doesn't think about going to the salon because she has reflected. And she realized that, no, I'm putting chemicals in my hair. She's liberated. Liberate yourself. Then, when you are conscious, there's a perceived reality that can help liberate you. You see that I'm so oppressed. I'm marginalized. I'm in trouble. What can I do? You sit there and say, okay. I can do this. But society will not allow me. I can do that. But my friends will laugh at me. And we are talking about women because today is Women's Day. We are talking about women. The reality presents practical solutions sometimes in dialogue with others. So the reality that you say, this is what I can be free. You talk to 1, 2, 3 people. Chauti now honto. I do. Because that is the freedom reality that is presented to you. So you'll be dialoguing with yourself, with others, say, cut that hair. Then finally you get the strength to I've cut it. And then when you step out, somebody says, hey, you have the courage to cut your hair? Oh, you're looking so beautiful. And then you said, thank you, I am freed now. So, when you become conscious of yourself and your environment and your conditions, then you have become empowered. Next one. So, I coined something. I sat down and said, okay, now let me put something for what women should do. Femicitization or wombsitization. That's OBK's own credit. And I have the power to do that. And what is it? It's the process. So when you are freed, and of course there are several women who are freed, liberated. The process whereby women are able to think critically about issues of power, privilege, and oppression so that they become aware of their conditions and through total reflection and action accumulate power for social change in order to ensure a more inclusive and equitable society. The moment women, when you gain wombsitization or femicitization, then it means that you can think about issues in a very critical manner. You can reflect upon your life and the life of others. You are ready to confront oppression. You look at it whether you have power or you have privilege, and through that, accept a new freedom. We choose to challenge you to become conscious, and that is point number one, the first trait. So ask yourself, trait number one, am I conscious? Do I have conscientization? And when you pick up this definition of what we mean, what conscientization means for women, then you ask yourself, whether you fit in here. Next. Number two, women need empowerment. So the second trait is that you need to be empowered. And what's empowerment? Let's try to understand it. The central issue of empowerment is power. So when we say women need empowerment, then it means we are acknowledging that you don't have power. You lack power. I wonder how many times anybody say that men need empowerment. Because men have power. They have taken everything through culture, through patriarchy, through the system that we have supported them to implement. They have taken power. So empowerment is about power and control. So anytime that we say you are empowered, then you have power and then you have control. And let's look at the kinds of relational power, because power is always seen when two or three gather. The moment I go to Professor Ruby Hansen and I start talking to her, hey, Prof, how are you? How was your night? Now, once we start talking, no matter how trivial the issues are, power is working. Once somebody is asserting power over the other, it can be her, it can be me. So power is always constituted in network of relationships. So 1, 2, or 3 people are gathered. No, any time that you meet somebody on the way and say, good morning, how are you? There's power at stake. And you see between the two, one will assume higher power of good morning, another will assume a lower power of good morning. So empowerment is about power and control. The first is power over. Controlling power that belongs to who have access to formal decision-making process. All those, they control. For example, I am an acting pro-vice chancellor. I have power over. I can even say, hey, today we can't have this program. And that's it. That's power over. So we have power over, power that allows you to control that person. Men in their homes have power over their spouses and children. Power over even what we should eat. Kojo papa nobody there, medi fufu. Oh, come banku. Oh, fufu na mepe. That's it. The chop money for banku, use it to prepare fufu. Even though the person knows that banku's chop money cannot make fufu, he still wants to give banku's chop money for fufu. Because he has power over. Then the power to generate new ideas and possibility to that domination. When you have power that allows you to be creative, that's another form of power. You can generate your own new ideas without any limitation. Then, without anybody dominating you. Then we have power with. The power that we share with people is another type of power. So you have power over, power with, and power to do things. Then power from within. Spiritual strength that inspires and energizes people. The Christians would call the Holy Spirit power inside you. But let me tell you, of all these powers, the stronger, the powerful is power over. Because you let the Holy Spirit descend on you right now. I can say, hey, keep quiet and let's go. And then, if you don't keep quiet, we take you out. That's power over. Now, when you are empowered, you wield all these four.